Alrighty, this is the first episode of Bankrolling on Bovada. We're going to start with the $1.10 sit and goes. Mostly playing Super Turbos, maybe some Omaha Turbos as well. We're starting the account with $22. It's exactly 20 buy-ins for the $1.10 games. And our goal is to get up to $30 as quickly as we can, so that we can move into some of the limit cash games, which are pretty soft around here. The 5-cent, 10-cent games are definitely a grind, but they are very profitable. And we're only 2 hands in while we were setting up the recording. We picked up ace king in the small blind, flopped an ace, bet half pot, got called by the big blind, who was player 8. And there was a blank on the turn, and we fired again, and he folded. So that's where we're at. And it's going to be a series of videos where we're going to move up through the limits. I thought we'd start at the bottom and see how high we can go. There will be some cash games, maybe some multi-table tournaments, but probably just cash and sit and goes from time to time. I want to focus primarily on the limit games on Bovada because I think they have the best value. We will also probably play some no limit and pot limit games once the bankroll gets up to a certain value. I think the cash games start at $5 buy-ins on the site, so I wouldn't really be interested in playing those until we had about 100 in the account, maybe more. So that's kind of the plan. And with these Super Turbos, the goal is just to play pretty tight. We're going to fold the 2 4s here. Even against a limp, we don't really know too much about these players, and we are currently third in chips just by happenstance, basically, because we've only played 3 hands. Not a big fan of just limping in behind with a small pair. I mean, we can raise, and then we'd have to fold to a 3-bet, so until we know a little bit more about what we're dealing with here, I wouldn't be interested in playing those 2 4s. I'd probably play tournaments much tighter than the average player. Fold the 6-5 offsuit. But yeah, well, this Bovada is a US friendly site. It does have the anonymous feature. If you haven't seen what it is, players just have numbers. There's no names. They change from table to table. So the guy in seat 1 is not always going to be that particular guy. So there's not a ton of use for a HUD. And you can use one maybe for non-zone poker games. Zone poker wouldn't really be beneficial because the numbers stay the same but the players don't. So there's no real reason to have a heads-up display. So we're just going to be doing this by our own observations and our own skill set. That's the challenge too that I thought would be interesting to not play with a HUD. I think there are some Bovada friendly HUDs, but I'm not entirely sure. I would assume that obviously it can't hold from session to session because the players would reset, but yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to try and shoot videos Friday and Saturday, probably in the afternoons, and maybe some during the week. See how we're doing, and If we're running good, we'll probably be putting up a bunch of videos, and if we're not running so good, we might take a break for a few days. But I would like to be able to shoot as much as I can for as long as I can. So for those that are kind of new to poker or just sit and goes in general, these are 9-player super turbo tournaments, which means lines go up every 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, every 3 minutes. So these are going to be very quick games and very quick videos. Did do a little bit of video testing last week with a non-turbo game, and it was just very long and very boring. So super turbos definitely have more variant, but we're gonna stick with these purely from a YouTube standpoint. So we don't have too many crazy players here at the moment. We've got player 7 that's playing a lot of hands and never raising. He's just limping in with pretty much everything from what I've seen. Player 8's doing a lot of that as well. Everyone else seems to be playing a fairly standard game, but again, we're only 8 or 9 hands in, so that could change. Especially with the blinds getting up there now at 25-50. Wow, okay, I'm not sure what happened there. That was kind of crazy. Flatted and called with King 5 of spades, and I don't think he even had as much as a backdoor draw. That seems to happen a lot on Bovada. I'm not really sure what the players are drinking over here, but there seem to be some really goofy plays where they just like call down with queen high for no reason. I don't mind calling here. He's been pretty aggressive. Up. We've been playing pretty tight, so maybe he'll check behind. Now we've made 2 pairs, so we're just going to value bet it here. And we should be good a fair amount of. Yes, we are. Okay. And probably not playing the Jack 7. First time seat 7's raised, so we're going to respect that, even with getting significant odds. Of course, we would have flopped 2 pair. I don't know. I don't really like completing in that spot. In a cash game, maybe, but not in a tournament. So I wonder what our friend had. This really slows down Bovada. I'm not sure. Okay, he had King 9 offsuit on the 9 Jack 6 7 3 board that he called down 2 bets with. Okay. Fold the King 5 on the button. Again, I play sit and goes and tournaments in general, probably tighter than most players. So that might be a leak that I need to work on. But definitely feel free to leave comments, questions, all that good stuff in the comments below. I will try to answer them as many as I can. 5 deuce. Throw that away. Currently second in chips, so we got a good position here. No one's really in danger of going out except for player 8. He's down to less than 8 big blinds, so he should be shoving pretty quickly. But once the blinds get up to 75 and 150, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the table. Then we're going to have to start making some reads and trying to get a semi-decent hand in against a very wide player. Unfortunately, we don't have too many of them. 7 and 8 are still probably the only two wide ones that are just playing a bunch of hands. 8's calm down. I was saying I don't think I've seen him in too many pots. Made the first observation on his play. Player 3 seems to be a bit of a cannon, but I don't think he's as reckless as 7 or 8. So it'd be nice to start the series off with a cash. That would put us in the right direction. We're pretty close to the 300 big bets that I would want for the 5 cent, 10 cent cash games already. So if we can pick up a couple of wins, that would definitely get us over the top. Payouts are $1.80 for third, $2.70 for second, and $4.50 for first. And we will be at the $1 sit and goes as long as this takes. We're going to keep the current bankroll on the side. We're going to keep all the stats. So if you miss an episode, or be all caught up in what's been going on. And those will change from level to level. Fold the 8-6. And I think when we start playing cash games, we might even start multi-tabling a little bit. Not sure yet. I think maybe 3 or 4 tables would be okay. Also have to see how the traffic runs. It's usually pretty good on Bovada. King 10 against King Jack. King Jack fold. I believe that, yep, that knocks out 7. So we're down to 7 players. We are going to look to do something here. Not with 5 deuce, but we got to get a hand at some point. Hmm. 9-10. It's actually kind of close. Now it's not with a raise from 3. I think we're just going to let it go. If it was blind versus blind, it's probably just a ship and hope that we have enough hold equity. 8 calmed down a little from what I've seen. Not sure how he would play blind versus blind. King 5 is not a good enough hand to just ship it with. One of the things I've noticed about these Bovada goes is that the antes don't kick in till like level 7 or 8. And in 1 minute we're going to be at a whopping 8 big blinds. So we're definitely going to have to push with something. And ace king versus ace jack. Jack's gonna hold. Yep. And we folded a king too, but still a pretty bad beat. even though we're pretty low on chips, we're still in 4th position. Don't think that's the right shove. On the button for sure, but not that early. Too many players stacked behind us. Just throw it away. 7-6 offsuit is a fold. So once the blinds pass us, we'll be down to 1395. It's going to make our button range pretty big. Ace-8. The ace. We are 6-handed now. It's just our big blind. Can't really play the 7-deuce here. Okay with a fold. Totally okay with a fold there. Jack-10, can't call that against an all-in. Definitely can't call it against 2 all-ins. Ace-4 against Ace-King. And they're going to challenge it. It's probably a tight fold. The 10-9 off. Is one sitting out? It seemed like a really fast push of the pot to the small blind. I think one might be sitting out. Let's see what happens this turn. Yeah, he's sitting out. If I had known that, we definitely would have pushed the on 8. Even though he's not shown too much respect to people stealing blinds. But we've been playing super tight, so. That's not really good enough. Okay, well that's definitely a shove. Especially with the blinds just increasing. It's not too many hands people could call us with, just because we've been playing so tight. But it is Bovada. You never really know what you're going to get. Okay, well, we earned ourselves a free round of poker. And we'll just fold that. Can't really do much with Jack-3. That being said, we can't really do much with Jack-4. Yeah, it seems to be that player 8's pretty much the only overly active player at the table. Actually, player 1's been sitting out the entire game, I think. I don't know if I've seen him or her do anything other than just fold. Deuce, we gotta let that one go. Those guys are still half their stack, and one's flatting with half his stack. It's a weird little play. I think if they had it, they'd just want to ship it and see what happens. Wow, that was a really weak play from 4 there. I don't know what you're betting half your stack with that committed to. That was really weird. I wonder what he had. I think if he had like a small pair, he'd just want to get it in there. Queen's cool. So I'm going to fold the 8-5. King 7 versus Queen 9. There's a king. And I think that takes out 4, so we're down to... No, I lied. I forgot he did double up recently. We're certainly not getting too many hands here. We've been sticking around, but 9-7's not going to do it. Ace Queen against Ace 3. And Queen's going to take it. Knocks out the 3rd player. Or seat 3, I guess. I don't know technically what you'd be calling them. Ace 5 against Queen 5. There's an ace. And he's out. So I think we just fold here, basically, whatever we have. Just hope he doesn't hit a deuce. The ace takes it, and we have made the money, just barely. I mean, there's no real reason now. We can just stick it in, because whatever. I mean, I guess we could have tried for it on 4-handed, since if we both got knocked out, we would have taken 3rd anyways, so that was actually, I wasn't really thinking about it. Alright, so we finished our first tournament, and we have cashed and made ourselves 70 cents. So we will do episode 2 a little later, and thank you for watching.